Hey guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to another video. Right now it's KvK. We migrated to Kingdom 666 a few days ago with about 5 allied guilds. So that means that we'll be able to make a lot of rallies and have a lot of rally parties. We've already done 2 that I need to upload. So it's KvK and we've been going around with GBM and NPS trying to find some targets in the enemy kingdoms. Unfortunately, all the targets we've found so far have either shielded or they haven't been good targets. We tested them with leaderless rallies and they didn't drop much. But now we found a 350ml player from our own kingdom in Fury. I was going around looking for targets, and as I scrolled over one of the forts, I saw this 350ml teleport into the province, and I knew that they were going to reinforce the fort because their guild was holding it. I put their cords in the call, and then we waited for them to send a march, which they did, and then we all ported around and started 3 rallies. Some people don't agree with hitting your own kingdom in KvK, but at this point we were just bored. We wanted to kill something, and a target in Fury can't avoid being hit unless they're able to hide. So right after the rallies were set, this guy actually teleports to another province in the kingdom, and straight away that's a good sign, because if they're moving to a province, that means that they know they can't take the rally, and it also means that they can't hide their troops, because if you could hide, why would you port to the province? Then their guild teleports around them and starts to reinforce. Now at 350 million might, your chances of being able to eat 3 rallies, especially when 2 of the leaders have like insane stats, is pretty low. And if you look at this player's gear, their gear is pretty much all purple, so they might be able to take 1 if they're set up well, maybe even 2, but 3 is unlikely, and we set 1 of each type just to kind of like cover our bases. We were going range, NPS, Inf, and GBM Cav. Nash's rally is actually the first to launch. We did end up setting a few seconds behind everyone else, and Nash is going to carpet his rally, and they burn on the very first hit. So remember, Nash sent Inf, and turns out this guy is actually in a range wedge. So Nash burns them and walks back with only siege. Now they've just burned in the province, so that means they've been random teleported somewhere in the kingdom, and all rallies targeting them are cancelled, which gives us another 5 minutes to find them, because we set the rallies less than a minute after Fury is activated. Takes 5 minutes for the rallies to march, so we've got 5 minutes to find them before their Fury goes under 5 minutes. We do end up finding them, but unfortunately it's after their Fury has already gone under 5 minutes, and they do shield before the second round of rallies hits them. So right after that, we're looking for more targets, and as I'm scrolling over another fort, I see a march literally just arrive into the fort. I click on the march at the last second, follow it back. It's a player from our kingdom, and it's a 380 million guy just sitting out in the open. And based on the speed of the march, I can pretty much determine that it was T1 he sent, unless he sped it up. So based on the distance he is from the fort, it would be reasonable to assume that that guy is still in Fury. So I put his cords in the call, and we all jump in and start rallies. Now I tell Dakota to port away from the screen before setting the rally, because I was thinking if he sees loads of Titans port next to him, he's going to random away. So his guildmates port over, but they don't actually reinforce him. And they even start emoting, which is kind of weird because people don't really emote when their guildmate is about to be zeroed. So I was thinking either this guy has no Fury and he's going to shield, or he's empty. But he doesn't move for the whole 5 minutes, and that really confuses me, because this guy's literally just reinforced a fort a few minutes ago, so he's got to be online, right? The rallies are getting closer to marching, and he still hasn't done anything. So right now it's pretty clear that this guy reinforced the fort and then logged off, maybe went to sleep. It was very early in China when we were doing these rallies. So because this guy hasn't changed locations, obviously GBM and NPS will be the first ones to hit him, and will hit last because we ported away from the screen. So their rallies are walking now. He's still not shielding, he's not done anything, and he's gonna burn on those first 2 rallies. And then I just spam carpet in chat, because this guy's already getting wrecked and we want to make sure we get some kills. So Dakota speeds his rally up, but by the time we hit, there's literally only range left, so it's our range against his range. Pretty nice hit there, and after that there's just 1 million left that can be soloed. And so I don't know what happened with this guy. I guess he did really just reinforce the fort and log off. He did come on a few minutes later and ran him away, so I'm guessing he was still in fury, or he would have just shielded. Now, this is something that I have anxiety about. I have anxiety about putting my phone down, walking out of the room, unshielded, and coming back zeroed, because I did actually get rallied one time from SGB. I didn't put it on my channel because I forgot, and I walked into the other room to monetize a video on my computer, and then when I walked back into my room, my phone in there, I was getting called, and I checked and I was being rallied. I didn't actually get the rally because I only had 7 million troops at the time, but they only had siege walking back. But it does make me wonder that if I had walked back into the room 3 minutes later, I wouldn't have changed my gear and I probably would have been burned pretty badly. So yeah, that's one of the things that I'm kind of uncomfortable about, and it definitely happened to this guy because he obviously just stepped out for a few minutes and came back zeroed. Now this target is a 650 mil in war gear. We were originally blind hitting this guy. We set one leaderless rally of each troop type to see which one would make him drop, and as you can see right there, he doesn't really lose much. 9 million might from the 3 rallies. And then I scout him afterwards and I realized that he's actually got no anti. I found this target and I put his cords in the call, but I don't think anyone actually scouted him, and so we found out that he never had anti in the first place, and there was no attack boost, so he didn't pop one. But yeah, we can see that he's in range phalanx after that. So we set a second round of rallies, all infantry with leader. We've been hitting anti-targets all evening, so I just kind of assumed that this guy would be anti, and it's quite surprising to find out that he wasn't. Okay, so the third round of rallies has already been set, and we're hoping that this guy is offline. His comp is pretty nasty. Range phalanx as well, that's not an easy formation to zero. It's the best formation in the game to be capping rallies with if you have the right comp. And players defending in range formations tend to be pretty hard to burn online as well, so sending in for the leader was kind of risky, but you know, we'd tried so many targets that are shielded, so we didn't care, and it's quite obvious that he wasn't going to lose much on leaderless rallies either, so we decided to give it a go. And especially in KvK, there's another added risk, because if a target doesn't want to take your rallies, they can literally just migrate to a different kingdom for as long as KvK is going on, for literally just a reload, as long as they don't have fury. So this guy actually heals, and I go to say cancel, but it's too late. Nash has already hit, so that means we've got to hit, and then GBM hit afterwards. But we do some pretty decent damage. I'll scout again right after the rallies have hit, and he's lost almost all of his range front line. He's only got 900k T4 range left and 900k T2 range left after healing. So that means if he decides to stick around and take another round of rallies, he's probably going to burn. So Dak ports out of his spot to let me in, and Nash swaps out for Marshall. Nola did get his leader back. I don't know if he used Bunny or if that was Haldrider. But anyway, Nola is going to run the third round of rallies for GBM. I am going to set Cav. I think Nola sets Cav as well. Marshall goes Inf. This guy didn't really get many reinforcements the first time, so we were counting on the fact that he probably wouldn't get many the second time either. But to absolutely no one's surprise, he does decide to migrate, and I don't really blame him. He couldn't get full reinforcements, and he only really had 1 mil T4 range frontline left, which would have been killed with a single rally. And like changing formation to defend would have been messy for him as well. So migrating is probably the best thing for him to have done. He does ransom the leaders back pretty quickly, and I think Dak, I don't think Dak even paid for his leader back, because I just randomly saw in global the next day that his leader had been executed and he hadn't been online for a while. So I think the guy just decided to execute his leader and shield. So that's all for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all next time.